Technical communicators and instructional designers have many options to choose from when developing online learning environments. Therefore, they need to determine the particular elements that optimize employees' learning by thoroughly understanding what organizations and e-learning experts deem successful. Since many technical communicators and instructional designers are unsure of the principles that constitute a sound e-learning course, I will create an example of one that will be used to teach password standards to employees. It demonstrates what works in an online environment. This e-learning course incorporates sound practices and elements from research to create an interactive and educational user experience. This course module also uses the guidelines and practices recommended by the experts cited in my thesis. It will explain the importance of password standards for an entire organization and provide an opportunity for employees to obtain information about how passwords can keep them safe in virtual environments. Learners will also be assessed after they have successfully completed the module, and they will also be able to review it as often as necessary. My project is designed for all 1,200 employees at the Orlando Utilities Commissions, OUC. These employees range from vice presidents of every business unit, to IT personnel, to customer service representatives, to engineers, meter readers, linemen, and more. Some of these employees work in the field and only access workstations that connect. The activities I incorporated are relevant, timely, and reinforce the content. They went beyond test questions because they enable the employees to navigate freely and use simple branching to make a decision. I will also strive to make sure that the course meets the employees' needs and expectations. The first method that Porter recommends for creating a successful online environment is to have developers strike a balance between the latest, fastest technology and the slower, older computer systems available to the majority of students. This combination is important because it ensures that students will be able to learn and not be hindered if their computers do not use current technology. I will also adopt Krishnan and Rajmaknam's concept of experience-enabled design because an e-learning course can create a satisfactory experience only if it commands trustworthiness in the way it is designed, the content it presents, and the user perplexity it prevents. I will also incorporate Bellin and Oates applications that promote learning by using students' prior knowledge and ensuring that connections to the course content are created. These correlations provide manageable structures and pacing expectations that help employees develop confidence and satisfaction. Students need to know how much they have learned so they can perceive the value from the e-learning course. The development process I went through when I started my media project began with being approached by OUC's IT security administrator, Lacey Zinzer, about developing the Password Standards course module. Originally, a document was written about it, and the management team didn't want to distribute it. The team felt like it would be too complex for employees to thoroughly understand in document form. Lacey asked the management team what they thought about an e-learning module, and they all agreed that this medium would be a viable approach. Lacey came to me, and I gladly accepted the project. Since I also work as an instructional designer, I know how valuable e-learning can be, especially when a technical topic needs to be presented. Accessing the material online can be done quickly and easily by employees from almost anywhere at OUC. This methodology also saves time because employees do not have to attend a face-to-face class, and they do not have to concern themselves with finishing the module in one sitting. The module structure is simple and straightforward. I also made sure to use plain language. When there was not an alternative for a technical term, I defined it. It is critical to make sure that definitions are clearly stated. Sometimes developers may assume that once the definition is written, that it can be readily understood by the user. I will include basic definitions whenever necessary. In addition to the definitions, I will follow Chapnick and Malloy's recommendation of using graphics sparingly in an e-learning environment because they can potentially degrade the quality and distract the audience. The authors define poor graphic design as an overwhelming number of images and tenuous connections between graphics and text. I made sure to limit the use of graphics and selected each graphic carefully in an effort to minimize any employee confusion. This media project will prepare me for my future because I implemented the entire ADDIE analyzing, design, development, implementation, and evaluation process. First, I analyzed what was needed, especially after I discovered that a document wouldn't work for the entire population. Then I created the design based on some input from our security administrator. Lacey wanted to ensure that I concentrated on keeping the colors cool and neutral. I did this by selecting a blue template and modifying it to meet my vision. The development was simple because I had a lot of concepts to cover, and I wanted to ensure that I reinforced the content in a straightforward manner. The exercises I used back up the content and get learners involved. They also break up the monotony of words on the screen. The implementation experience I'll get will be in the future after I roll out the modules later this month. I know that I'll learn even more after I pilot the course to get more feedback on it. I'll also get more experience when I do the evaluation phase, because at the end of the course, employees will take a 7-question assessment, which includes questions from the material. The questions will not be too difficult and the employees can take the assessment multiple times. However, each attempt will be tracked and the questions will be pulled from a test bank, so they are different each time. Some of the questions will be fill in the blank, multiple choice, true or false, and matching. I will structure the questions this way because over half of the employees have not taken an e-learning course, and I want to make sure the process is as seamless as possible.